today's session so we can share with the people that was not able to attend today, so we can share the recording, and also with the people that is attending in case that they want to review. So we will share after this webinar. We will send you a copy of the presentation and also a link to the video in case that you want to go over. My name is Alvaro Mocholi. I'm responsible for international sales for Grecom Technologies. I'm also the managing director of the company, and I'm going to be the person that is going to be conducting today this webinar. Okay, so let's start. The first thing that I would like to do is to do a very brief introduction of our company. We are a company that was founded in 2005. Okay, and then we are a company that is specialized in developing real-time analytics, and we are very specialized on thermal imaging. That is our biggest area of expertise. Although we have solutions for thermal imaging cameras, but also we have solutions for day and night cameras. But our biggest line of expertise is going to be thermal imaging. Currently, we have over 30 different analytics developed. 90% of the solutions that we offer has been developed by us, and like around 10% is we marketed for some other companies. We export to 64 countries. Our biggest areas of influence is the Middle East, United States, South America, and then Europe. And then Asia Pacific will be the last, the area that is recently becoming is coming up, but I mean it's a new area for us still. The good thing about it is that we can offer the full chain of value. Okay, so that means that we have our own R&D department, which is responsible not only of developing our own solutions, but also we are capable of customizing the solutions according to the client's needs. Okay, so as you know, whenever you go to large projects or critical infrastructures, sometimes you have to adapt to their existing methodology or to their existing security procedures. So that is one of the key advantages that we can offer versus some other bigger companies or some other solutions that are on the market that we are able to customize according to the client's needs. Also, we have a department which is in charge of integration. As you know, in most of the cases, we need to integrate our solutions with existing security systems, VMSs or recordings and access control devices and so on. So what we do is we have a department that constantly is integrating our solutions with new coming cameras and existing security systems. So in a way that we can approach, or we can go to pretty much all the projects that offer to us. We are not the kind of company that we just resell or sell our analytics. The price of our analytics includes the setup and the configuration. So this is kind of like a turnkey solution. So until the solution is not working as the customer is expecting, we will not stop working on it. Okay, so it's a turnkey solution. And then also we have our after sales department, which is responsible for solving any potential problems that might show up with the analytics, and also to carry on or to handle the maintenance, especially with critical infrastructures. That is whenever there is, we constantly are maintaining the system to warranty that is always performing as the customer is expecting. These are the different lines of solutions that we have. We have solutions for perimeter surveillance. We have solutions for thermal cameras and also for day and night cameras. The solutions can run on premise or can work on embedded. We have our solutions embedded into Axis, Hanwha, Hikvision, and shortly we will also have Dahua and also Mobotics. Okay. We have marine surveillance solutions, which we will be talking later on. Then we have VMS. We have our own VMS, and then also we market third-party VMS, which we're going to be talking today also about it. And then we have a VMS without artificial intelligence, and then we have a VMS with artificial intelligence. Also, we have a line of cybersecurity. Here we are very focused on data loss prevention. And then also we will be talking today about all this information. We have solutions for facial recognition. So we have access control, passport access, VIP recognition, blacklist, demographic analysis, ticket validation. We can do plenty of things with the face recognition. Then on the automation and safety, we have a lot of solutions also. We have from fire prevention and detection to also like transformer or electrical appliance monitoring, so we can prevent from major failures. We can anticipate to any major failures that might happen in all critical equipment. Then we have also fire prevention and detection solutions. And then also we have healthcare solutions. And then here we have the human temperature control, which in the past, given the pandemic situation, was highly demanded and still some, I mean, that is still demanding, but I mean, it's not as demanded as it used to be. Okay, so today's presentation, what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide it in two areas. The first area is gonna be the security solutions, which we're gonna be approaching right now. And then later on, what we will do is kind of like the preventive solutions, okay? The first solution that we would like to talk to you is about the face recognition, okay? So here what we can do is we can offer a solution that we can guarantee a 99.87% of accuracy without face mask and 98.6% of accuracy with face mask. So it's a very accurate solution. This solution has been certified by the NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology. This is not something that we have come out, so it has been well tested, and is also, I will say, on the top 5 solutions out of all the different solutions that the NIST has tested. Okay, accomplishes or follows all the privacy regulations, so IS 256 in REST and also HTTPS. And then here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a graphic. This is all the different analytics that were tested with the NIST, where over 340 different algorithms tested. And as you can see here on the upper right corner is our solution, okay? And then in order to pass the standards of the NIST, the percentage of accuracy has to be 0.0285. In our case, we achieved 0.0027, okay? So we exceeded by far the percentage of accuracy on the face detection. And then also, as you can see here, is one of the solutions with less processing requirements that we need. So as you can see here is compared to some other solutions, here we are on the top corner. So, and then also we are on the fastest solutions on detecting. Okay, so these are the key advantages. Here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna offer you a solution, which is the scan. This is kind of like a turnkey solution. On this device, we have the camera. It's a 3D camera. We have the infrared lighting. We have a microphone and a speaker. And the good thing about this device is that can work indoors or outdoors, can handle up to a database of 20,000 people. As for access controls, can pretty much manage around 45 people per minute. So it's very fast, okay? Okay, you can enroll people through any mobile device, always as long as it's connected to the cloud or is connected to the server where we have the database. And then also it is compatible with OSDP and the WGAN. So we can integrate this solution with most access control platforms that are on the market. Also, we can detect tailgating detection. So in case that someone wants to access following the person that has been authorized, the system will automatically detect it. Okay. can work indoors and outdoors, as we say before, and then also has the anti-spoofing. Okay, as we say before, this device has a 3D camera. So this means that it's able to recognize between a real face and a fake face. When I say fake face, is a picture, an image on a smartphone, or a video on a smartphone or on a tablet. So the system will be able to distinguish between a real and a non-real face, and then automatically will block. Okay. Here, these are all the different solutions that Frank, yes, correct. This is from Safer. Okay. This solution is from Safer, has not been developed by us. Then from the different solutions that we can offer from the monitoring point of view, so we can have mass detection. So for instance, imagine that before you boarding into a plane or before you get into any kind of like a specific room, you want to guarantee that everyone is wearing a mask. I mean, you can have a mass detection solution. Social distancing, in case that in a given area, you don't want the people gathering together or too many people gathering together. You can also monitor that. Audience management, so you can pretty much control. It's kind of like a people counting. So for example, imagine that on a VIP room, the maximum people that you can afford to be in is limited. So what you can do is you can do people counting. So just grant access whenever there is a space or whenever there is not enough people inside. Okay. Also, you can have suspect detection. So people that are not welcome or has created problems in the past, you can also identify. Okay, activity monitoring, so you can see how people are moving inside the premise. So you can see where it's kind of like a heat map, so you can see where are the most common areas. Also, you can use this for multi-factor authentication. So for example, imagine that employees that are wearing helmet, glasses, and a lot of equipment. So you will be able to do kind of like a double identification. You can do it with facial, but also with the QR code. So if the identity doesn't match of both devices, I mean, you will not authorize the entrance. Okay. From the facial recognition, you can have access control. So here it's not just for access control into the airport facilities, but also you can do passport control. Here you have the VIP recognition in case that you want to have, for example, on the VIP launch or even on the shops area, or even on the, for example, on the check-in list, in case that you want to recognize the people before they walk into the front, into the check-in desk. So you will be able to call the customer by the name and so on. So you can also use this solution. And then you have the liveness and anti-spoofing. So that means that you can recognize, as we said before, between a real and a non-real face. Okay. From analytics, we can do demographic analysis. That means that we can distinguish between gender, age, and then also by what we call a sentiment of a facial expression. So for example, imagine that you have adverts inside the airport terminal. You can see how people react to those adverts. Okay. And then imagine that, for example, you have an advert and the people stop by, and then you can see how people react and they stay there for a specific amount of time. And then also if they smile or if they don't smile. Okay. You can have heat maps, so you can monitor how people are moving around. And then you can have like the queuing time. So if, for example, imagine on the security checkpoints, imagine that there is a long line. So whenever you reach to a limit, automatically you can activate or you can open another security point. So in a way that you can speed up all the process. And then also you can have the occupation panel. This can be done for VIP lounges or like waiting rooms and so on. So you can know how much people is inside and then block the entrance in case that you don't want any more people to access. Okay, here we're going to show you a video on how the scan device works.
Introducing Safer Scan, the first full-featured intelligent biometric access control edge solution priced for broad-based applications. SaferScan is fast and touchless to expedite safe pedestrian traffic. And SaferScan works as well in outdoor locations as it does inside, even in challenging lighting conditions. SaferScan's advanced algorithms and 3D liveness ensure accurate identification and authorized access, while unknown individuals will be rejected, and real-time alerts are automatically issued if tailgating is detected. Management reports capture every entry for audit and compliance reviews. A self-contained PoE solution, SaferScan is also fast and easy to install. Plus, SaferScan works with leading access control platforms. High-performance biometric access control made affordable. Only with SaferScan.
Okay, now we're gonna move to the VMS. Okay, here what we do is we offer VMS with artificial intelligence. This solution has been certified by the ISO 27001, and then also was the Red Dot winner for 2021 as the smart product, okay, out of all the VMSs. Okay, so what is a VMS with artificial intelligence? Okay, most of the VMSs that you find on the market, what they basically do, here we have a question on the chat. Which algorithm is used for what solution? What solution for the VMS? Now, this device is not from Safer. The what we call it on the face recognition is from Safer, but this VMS is not from Safer. Okay. But this VMS, yes, the face scan is from Safer. Okay. All the face recognition that we were talking about is from Safer. Then going back to the VMS. Okay, what is a VMS with artificial intelligence? Okay, most VMSs that you find on the market, what they do is basically they record 24 hours, 7 days a week. And what they do is they record all the events that all the different analytics are integrated with that VMS. So basically what it does is you're recording 24/7, and then you also have kind of like a database of all the events that the analytics that are connected to that VMS are generating. Okay, here with this VMS, the key difference is that the VMS also comes with 4 different analytics included. You have perimeter analytics, license plate analytics, face recognition analytics, and also you have sound analytics, all included on the same price. And what is that artificial intelligence brings? So as we are recording, what the system is doing is kind of like tagging all the recording. That means, for example, if it detects a vehicle, it will tag it as a vehicle, the type of vehicle, if it's a car, motorcycle, van, bus, truck, and so on, the color of the vehicle, the license plate number. Okay, so all that information will be recorded automatically into the VMS. When you do it with a human, automatically what it will do is will record a face, will record if it's a male or if it's the gender, if it's a male or if it's a female, the color of the clothing, okay, if it's red, whatever the color, and then also the type of clothing, if he's wearing a jumper, if he's wearing a shirt, short-sleeved shirt, skirt, shorts, long jeans, whatever. So all that information will be recorded automatically. And then this, what it does, it helps us whenever we want to do any kind of like a forensic analysis or forensic search. Automatically, what you do is you have kind of like a search tool that what you do is you just enter whatever you're looking for, and then automatically the VMS is going to bring up to you whatever it matches with your search criteria. So what are the key benefits? One of the key benefits of this is that besides it brings analytics including into the VMS license, also what it does is speeds up or improves all the forensic search analysis. So it brings you a lot of, speeds up all that process. So you don't have to go through hours and hours of recording to come out with the result. Also, in case that you want to search by face, for instance, imagine that we have on an airport, one kid got lost. and then you want to search for that kid on a specific area. The only thing that you need to do is to upload the image of that kid, and then automatically the system will bring out all the images that are by appearance are very similar to what we're looking for. Okay, and I say by appearance because, I mean, as you know, for face recognition, in order to have a high degree of accuracy, you need to have the camera well placed. That means on a height of 1.8 to 2 meters high, and then at a distance of, let's call it 2 to 3 or 5 meters maximum, okay, depending on the resolution of the camera. But on the airports, most of the cameras are placed on the roof. So sometimes the angle of view of that face is not the right one. So sometimes it makes it difficult to be very accurate on the detection. So that is the reason why we bring all the images that go by appearance. Okay. How the system works. Okay. So this is how it works. We have two different scenarios. We can bring our own cameras. The good thing about our own cameras is that the analytics are embedded into the camera, and then also the recording is embedded into the camera. So automatically what you can do is you just can connect the camera to the cloud, and you will not need any server. That will be one option. Or in case that there is a critical infrastructure where cloud connection is not authorized, you can also use the server. So, but the good thing about it is that you have everything is embedded into the camera. As for the recording, you can have 30, 60, 90, and 120 days recording. So depending on how many days you need of recording, you can ask. The good thing about also this solution is that the 30 days recording is free of charge. So there is no extra cost for that. In case that you want to go beyond 30 days of recording, you have an extra charge on the either on the camera or on the server. In case that you want to deploy this VMS on a facility where the cameras are already deployed, we can also do it. In that case, we will need to call what we call it the cloud connector, which is a server. In such a server, we will have the analytics and also the recording. And in order to access to the images, you can either do it through the cloud, or you can do it through the any device that is connected to the same network as the server. Okay. Also, we have our own SDK and APIs. So in case that we need to integrate this with this VMS with an existing security platform, also can be available. In case that we want to integrate it with access control devices, we can also integrate it with. Okay, here we're going to show you a video on how the Smart Search tool works.
Welcome to AvaWare. Today we're going to cover search. Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our AvaWare cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So, for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot, It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting. And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now, you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Sorry, you are on mute. Sorry, you are on mute. You are not
Sorry.
audible.
Okay, sorry, I got it. Okay, you had asked me a question. Recording times you have mentioned are server or cloud or not. Okay, the time of recording can be on the camera. So on the camera, whenever you order a camera, you have to say, okay, I want 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. Now, once on the cloud, on the price of the license includes 30 days recording on the cloud. So for example, imagine that you have the cameras from us, but plus the cloud, you will have kind of like a backup recording on the cloud, okay? Now, in case that you're using a third-party cameras, okay, in that case, you need the cloud connector, which is the server. And with that cloud connector, you have to specify also how many days that you want to record, 30 days, 60, 90, or 120 days. However, whatever you choose on the cloud or on the cameras, you also have on the cloud. Whatever recording you choose on the cameras or on the server is also on the cloud. So for the same price, you will have a backup of both of them on the cloud. So in case that there is vandalism with the camera or someone steals the server, there will be a backup of that recording on the cloud always. Okay. Now we have hits. I need to know the algorithm you are working on. What do you mean to need to know the algorithm? Because the algorithm is the key of the analytics. So I don't understand.
I just want to know the names of the algorithm you are using for face detection. Also, the VMS example you have given previously. So
okay, the face recognition is safer. Okay, I'll put it on the chat. Okay, and as for this VMS with artificial intelligence is APA. Okay, And then the rest of the solutions that we're going to be talking about right now, all of them have been developed by us from Grecom. Okay. So the next solution that we're going to be talking about is perimeter lookout. Okay. As for the perimeter surveillance, we have two solutions. We have a very long range solution, which is called Sentinel. And the key advantage of this solution is that we can reach very far. I'm saying with a camera, with a normal thermal camera, we can reach between 400 to 500 meters, depending on the camera brand and also depending on the lens. Okay, so what it does is we have very long range detection, so that the key advantage of that is that we can reduce the number of cameras, and also we can reduce the cost of civil work. Okay, and then also we can reduce the cost of server infrastructure. Okay, that is the key benefit. The disadvantage that might have with an analytic with artificial intelligence is that whenever you want to detect so far away, the images has not enough, is not big enough, or has not enough pixels in order for the analytics to identify or to classify, auto-classify what object are you detecting. Okay, so when you have a long range, you can do detection, but you cannot classify. If you want to have artificial intelligence in a way that you want to distinguish between an animal, a human, or like vegetation movement, and so on, then you need to sort the detection range. And then is when we bring the artificial intelligence. In this case, will be the perimeter lookout. This solution, it has artificial intelligence on it. And the good thing about it is that we can auto-classify the objects by person and vehicles, and we can discriminate animals, vegetation movement, raindrops, or camera movement, and so on. Okay, so this is a very accurate solution. The key advantage is the percentage of false alarms, which is very low, but the disadvantage will be that the detection range is much shorter than, for example, the Sentinel solution that we were talking earlier on. And that is the key difference. If you want to have a solution that is very accurate with barely any false alarms, you will need to use the perimeter lookout. In case that you want to have a perimeter surveillance and identification is not a key issue, then you will have to go with the Sentinel. Okay. We have here a question from Charles. Is it a platform or is it embedded into the cameras? It can work on both. We can have the solution on premise, or it can work embedded into Axis, Hanwha, Hikvision, and then shortly in Dahua and Mobotics. Okay. Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a video, okay, on how this solution works. As you can see, for example, on the center image, there is a lot of camera movement, and you can see that there is enough generating false alarms on the fence or on the movement. On the upper left corner, there is barely any contrast, and also on the right corner is a long detection range, and still the solution is very accurate on the detection. Okay. Okay, and then the numbers that you see on the overlay that shows the percentage of accuracy. So, for instance, when it says 1.0, that means that is a human that is 100% sure that is a human. Okay, another one of the solutions that we offer for the airports is the Coast Guard. As you know, there is a lot of airports that are on the coastline. So marine surveillance is also very important. So you can identify boats that are approaching on small boats, especially that sometimes the radars are not capable of detecting. So this, what we do is we work on the, let's call it, on the short range, that is from 1 to 3 miles away from the coastline. That is our area of, let's call it, of influence, or that is where we work on. Okay, so here what we do is we detect large and small vessels, and then also floating objects. Okay, floating objects, depending on the size, we can detect a very long range or very short range. For example, if there is someone swimming, the maximum detection range might be something like around between 80 to 100 meters away, simply because the only thing that you see is the head or the arms coming out of the water. So That is a very small size object, so that is the reason why the detection range for such objects is not so long. Okay, so we have a large detection range. Minimum target size is 2 pixels. The rate of false alarms can be between 2 to 5%. We don't generate false alarms by the ways. We use thermal imaging cameras for this type of analytics. And then also what we can do is we can position the alarms on UTM or GPS coordinates. So we can position on a map, and then we can also do tracking. And also what we can do is we can integrate this solution with the existing radar map. So we can also position on the same map as the radar, so we can track it down the object. Meanwhile, it's on the field of view of the camera. And then it's integrated. I mean, the perimeter solutions and also this marine surveillance solution is integrated with all the main VMSs available on the market. When I say main, is Milestone, Genetec, Axis Camera Station, Avigilon, Pelco, Cathesix, Latitude, EDIS, Chameleon, Digifort. So this will be the most common or the most demanded VMSs that we have on around the world. So this is how we are integrated with. We're going to pass to the cybersecurity. Okay. Here, what we do is this is a solution that was the US Cyber Command winner. So this is a solution. This is an FBI contest for cybersecurity solutions. There were 10 categories. We won on 7 of them, including the best overall performance. So actually, this solution is deployed and in with the FBI. Okay, this is the JITC certified, which is a requirement to be able to promote or to market the solution into the US market, and also is a NITF compliant, which is also one of the requirements for the US market. And then this is the Cybersecurity Awards winner also. Okay, so this is a solution. Here I'm going to explain you basically what it does. Okay, this is a kind of like a software that we download in all the workstations that we want to monitor. So what we do is we monitor all the activity. Okay, so for example, when someone does a screenshot, when someone sends an email with an attachment that it has not been secure in a way that is an open file, is not on a PDF. So whenever someone is printing some documents that is not authorized to, someone is saving information that is not authorized, or accessing to files that are not authorized, accessing to non-secure Wi-Fi networks, or accessing to applications that are not related to the business, or you're not authorized to, or you're working from a location that you should not be working on. So basically here what we do is we are monitoring all the activity of all those workstations. And then whenever we detect that any of that activity is not compliant with the IT policy of the company, automatically we will detect it. And then it's not just monitoring, what we also do is interact with it. So what we can do is we can block, we can isolate the workstation, we can send an alert, and then we can also interact with the workstation. The good thing about this is that all those softwares are reporting to, let's call it, to a main workstation or to a dashboard, so you can view on real time which one of your employees are breaching the IT policy of the company. Okay, so this is not just monitoring, but you can also work on real time, and you can identify and block whatever activity is not compliant with the IT policy. Okay. Then we're going to go with the safety solutions. The first thing that we're going to be talking is the temp threshold. This is a solution to detect fire detection. Here we use radiometric cameras, and then, as you know, in most of the cases, the fire prevention solutions are reactive. That means that whenever they detect smoke, or then is when they trigger the alarm. Okay, so what we do is we anticipate that. Basically, here what we do is we analyze the temperature of all the objects that are on the field of view of the camera. And whenever we detect that any of the objects exceeds a given temperature, and then also what we do is we analyze the behavior. So Let me explain you this. So for example, imagine that is a trolley or a forklift machinery working on the field of view of the camera, and the exhausting tube or the engine might be at the same temperature threshold that we have set up the analytics for. So here what we do is we are not just analyzing just the temperature, we also analyze the behavior, okay? So with this double analysis, what we do is we can prevent from false alarms, and we can guarantee, I will say 99.8%, almost 100% accuracy. It's a very accurate solution, okay? And this one, we can use it on the airport, on all the different warehouses where there is a lot of material or packaging, and so it's been downloaded. Okay, it can work with fixed or PTC cameras. Okay, it generates summary on event report on real time. Okay, so also has one solution that is very important is heat emission and distance configuration. That means that the energy dissipates with the space. The farther the object is from the camera, the less energy is the camera be able to retrieve. So based on the distance of that object, what we do is we readjust the configuration in a way that we have an accurate temperature reading, okay? Then you have like a temperature color palette, so you can adjust it according to your needs. So in a way that whenever we see that is any object that is on the temperature threshold that we have set up the analytics for, it can become, we can paint it on red or whatever color you work. And then whenever we do the recording, is we're recording with the raw stream. Okay, so that means that you can move the mouse throughout the image, and then you can know exactly the temperature pixel by pixel, and you can even analyze it offline. Okay. Okay, and then also this is compatible with all the Bain BMSs, Milestone, Genetec, Axis Camera Station, Goitebrook, Pelco, Avigilon, and so on. Okay, so here I'm gonna show you a video. This is like a paper manufacturing. It's not an airport, but I mean this is just to show you how the solution works with the PTC camera. So here you can see there is a fire, and then automatically it detects. Okay, as you can see at the beginning, it takes a few seconds to detect it. That is basically because what we do is we generate a background, and then what we do is we analyze all the objects that are radiating different from that background. And then also we analyze the temperature. So it takes like around 2 seconds to generate that background, and then to start the analytics run and analyze the temperature behavior and so on. Okay, so it's a very fast solution. And then another one of the solutions that we have is the transformer monitor, which is, this is a solution that what we do is we use it to monitor all the, for example, in all the airports, there is substations that can supply, can provide energy in case that there is a failure. So here what we do is we are monitoring all the key components such as transformer, switches, and batteries, and so on. So what we do is we're monitoring the temperature of all those objects. And then what we do is we compare similar components with each other. And then whenever we see that any of those components it's overheating versus the rest of the component, we just mark it. And then so we can anticipate to a major failure. And then also it's not just a matter of anticipating to the major failure, but also on saving on money, because I mean, whenever you have a major failure, not just that component breaks down, also can provoke problems with some other components, so we can anticipate to that. Another one of the solutions that we have is the protective equipment. So here, this is also has artificial intelligence. So here what we do is so we can identify that all the employees that access to the facilities are wearing the right equipment, so such as helmets, reflection vest, protection boost, glasses, gloves, protection on the ears, and so on. Okay, so here we have different devices. We have the access control. So this has a double function. You can have access control and also protective equipment authentication or identification. So you can have it on the same device. And in case that you want to monitor people inside your premises, that all of them are wearing the right equipment, we can have these 3 devices. One with just 1 camera, this can handle 3 cameras, and this can handle up to 30 cameras. Okay, so basically these devices, what we will do is we'll be monitoring that all the people that are inside the premises are wearing at all times all the right equipment. Okay. Here are some success cases that I would like to share with you. Okay, from the defense and law enforcement. As I said before, we have implemented the VMS and also the cybersecurity system with the FBI in the United States. On the NATO headquarters, we have the access control in NATO headquarters in Brussels. Also, we do all the perimeter surveillance of the ROTA. This is a US and Spanish Navy military base on the south of Spain. This is the base of the 6th Fleet, which is the US fleet on the Mediterranean. And here what we do is we do the perimeter, marine surveillance, and also the airport perimeter surveillance. And also we are in charge of all the Air Force military bases in Spain, and then also the Navy bases in Spain also we protected. And then recently we just been granted with the Saudi Air Force perimeter surveillance of all their bases. As for oil and gas, we are our embedded solution into access cameras has been approved by Saudi Aramco and is already deployed in several facilities from them. Repsol and Cepsa, which are the 2 largest oil companies here in Spain, we do the perimeter surveillance for all their facilities. And then also on airports, we do Madrid International Airport, we do all the perimeter surveillance. Trillo nuclear plant, we do the perimeter surveillance for them. Al Wahba Palace, which is the Mir of Qatar Palace, we do the perimeter surveillance for them. Valencia Port, which is the largest port on the Mediterranean by container traffic, we do all the surveillance on all the anchor area. And then telecommunications, we work with companies such as AT&T in the US, Etisalat on the Emirates, Telefonica in Spain, Facebook in the US, Hitachi. We are a solution supplier for them. And then on the industry, we have Gestamp, Penske, I don't know, companies like Volkswagen, Mercedes, Toyota, I don't know, very large companies. Okay, as for distribution, we distribute our solutions. I mean, we have global agreements with Anixter and ADI. And then on the Saudi, we work with Secotronic and also Ingram Micro and ScanSource on the United States. Okay, so and then Incomex also is on the US. Okay, so this will be pretty much all the solution. Here you have my contact details, my mobile telephone number, and also my email address. And then in case that you want to request a demo of any of the solutions that we introduced to you today, you are more than welcome to request it. You can do it either through the website, or you can send me an email, and then you can request a demo of any of the solution. The demos are free of charge, always, as long as it is a standard demo. In case you want to do a proof of concept or in a specific area, we have to evaluate it. But I mean, in most of the cases, we always try to do the demos free of charge, so you guys can test it and then make a decision if that is the right solution for your project. And now, in case that you have any questions, you can activate your microphone, or you can either use the chat. So please feel free to access.
Hello.
Hello, Rajit. Go ahead.
Hi, Alvaro. Thanks a lot for the very informative presentation, first of all. I think this is the second time I'm attending this one. I am based in Dubai, UAE.
Okay.
And what I could find was among your clientele, only Etisalat is there, I guess, from the UAE. So just pertaining to this, this subject for today's presentation, that's more of aviation. I would be more interested because I'm connected with the Emirates group. So I would be more interested in knowing if there is a possibility of reading the fatigue of a person, which is very crucial to an aviation sector. Do you have the algorithm for that?
If you're able to identify a person, always as long as we have a database
Fatigue.
of fatigue person,
Yeah,
or
fatigue, because
falling down, you mean people falling down and so on?
yeah, they might be sleeping, they might not be feeling well when they are driving their equipments around the ground. So which is very crucial because it can attract accidents.
Yes, I mean, with the we can have like, for example, what this is what we call it the permanence. Okay, so basically what we do is we analyze the image, and then whenever we see that there is an object that is not moving on a specific amount of time or period of time, let's say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, you can adjust it. And you see that that person is not moving on a specific area, you can automatically detect it and trigger the alarm. So that is possible. Okay. Um, as for the face, trying to detect if someone is fatigued by the face is very difficult, and especially on an airport, because I mean the camera placement might not be the right one to be able to identify. So the only way to identify when someone, for example, a man down, or someone is fatigued and it has been staying down for a long time on a specific area, we can do that, what we call it with permanence. So basically we detect all the people that is moving around. And then whenever we see that one person stays in one specific place for a given amount of time, then is when we trigger the alarm. Or we can spot it and then we can do the follow-up on that.
Now, if somebody is running a bus or inside the aviation sector or the airport, and if he falls asleep, okay, the driver, if he falls asleep, so I guess the algorithm can read the pitch, the roll of
I
the
mean,
of your head. If
I
it
mean,
comes down,
what we can do,
if
for
it
example, in case that there is a driver on the bus, for example,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
automatically, I mean, we will need to have a clear view of the eyes. Okay. I mean, the problem is going to be if he's wearing a sunglasses. If he's wearing the sunglasses, we will not be able to distinguish that. But if a person closes the eyes, for example, if he's a driver of a bus or any of the vehicles inside the airport, uh, we will be able to do it. But if they're wearing sunglasses, and as you know, in your area, most of the people are wearing sunglasses, it is difficult because, I mean, you cannot distinguish if the person is awake or not. I mean, you can distinguish if the person falls down or the head is like moving around. You can also we can identify that, but I mean the level of accuracy might not be so good.
Hmm.
It's tricky. It's tricky because imagine that, for example, it's a driver, and then I say, okay, you have the face, and the face has to be, let's call it on a bounding box, okay? And then whenever see that the face falls down outside that box, automatically we can kind of like a trigger a sound, so we can awake that person. Now, imagine that that person, instead of like falling asleep, just moves the head and goes or is moving behind because he's talking to I don't know, to one of the pedestrians that is inside the bus. I mean, it might create that. I mean, we will not be able to distinguish between if the person is talking or is falling asleep. Okay, but I mean, what I recommend is to test it. I mean, we can do some,
Yeah,
and
there
then
is a good case on this.
okay, okay, then we have it
So
had.
how you plan to work in UAE? I mean, what is your? I mean, if you get a customer or a POC, how can you implement or execute a POC over here?
Okay, we have like system integrators that we work with in on the Emirates and also in all the Middle East area. So, and then what we do is these people are usually, whenever we have a project, we conduct it through these system integrators that work closely with us. And then these people are well trained and then they can execute the POC. And then also what we do is we are always involved on the POCs. We work on remote, so we do the configuration, and then we support our system integrators, our local system integrators, so we can guarantee that the POC is well performed and we are achieving the expected results. Okay, so and then also, I mean, we used to have an office on the Emirate, on Dubai, as a matter of fact, but with the pandemic situation, we decided to close. And right now we are in the process of reopening again our office, our own office on the area, so we can give some technical support in case that something happens locally. Okay.
Okay, we are able to do the software integration part if we can do that. Our company we do that. So we are very closely working with these particular sectors, especially on the education, for aviation, healthcare, and retail. So these are
Okay.
the four verticals. Probably we can have a chat later on.
Okay. Well, send me an email. You have my email address. I will have your contact details also, so I will search through the database. But if you can send me an email, you have my email address here on the screen. And then what we will do is we will do a follow-up on this.
Okay.
Okay.
And one more question is, are you guys only working with Real Networks or any other brands apart from Real Networks?
Okay. We have to, out of the presentation that we saw today, we have two solutions that are not developed by us. One is from Real Networks, which is the face recognition. And the second one is the VMS with artificial intelligence that comes from a company which is called AVA, okay, which has recently been acquired by Motorola. And then, but the rest of the solutions on the presentation has been developed by us.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I have here Hat has also one question. Thank you very much, Alvaro. Please, could you share more information on embedding your solution to existing cameras to become edge processing devices? Are you adding additional equipment to cameras? Okay, when we say embedded, that means that the analytics are running inside the camera. So we don't need an external device or a mini PC to run the analytics. So everything runs inside the camera. So the camera will be connected directly to either the VMS server or whatever, but you don't need an extra device, okay? For example, with cameras such as, for example, with Bosch or with FLIR, where do you have like kind of like there is like a small PC box. With those cameras, what we do is we download the license into that box and then we run the analytics, okay? And then we are constantly adding more cameras into our embedding portfolio, okay? Always as long as the manufacturers allow us to embed our solutions into it, we do it. And then we have here a Charles, where can alarms be displayed? VMS, hypervisors. Okay, in all the different solutions, we have our own interface, okay, or dashboard, so you can view it in our own API. And then in case that you have an existing security system or existing VMS, what we can do is we can integrate all the different solutions with that VMS and show all the detections and all the results on the existing VMS. So we adapt to whatever the project has, okay? If it has no VMS, we try to deploy our own VMS. In case that there is an existing VMS and then it's already integrated with our solution, what we do is we deploy it on the VMS. In case that there is a project that is running a VMS that is not integrated with any of our solutions, well, depending on the volume of the project, we integrate it free of charge, or we do some extra charge. It depends. But always, for us to integrate our solutions with an existing VMS, it should take no longer than 2 weeks to do it. You're welcome, Charles. Also, as the license, you have different models. You have subscription model or you have a perpetual model. So what you can do is, depending on your needs for such a project, you can choose, or you can decide to go with the subscription model, or to go with the perpetual. Okay, and then on the subscription you have 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. Okay, so it depends. Any more questions? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for attending to today's webinar. Very happy with all the questions that you guys did. As I said, we are going to be sharing a copy of the presentation and also a video of the presentation. So later on, in case that you want to review it, you can review it. You have here my contact details in case that you need to get in touch with me. And then in case that you request a demo, please feel free to contact me, or either do it through the website. Okay. Once again, thank you very much for today's attendance, and then let's keep in touch. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.